Next up, José Juan Rodriguez Gutierrez, I hope I pronounced that right, is here to talk to us. He met Maggie at our fundraiser, so I'd like to turn this over to Maggie and to Carol to introduce José Juan and let us know what we're hearing about today.
Okay, yeah, we were at the yard sale Sunday afternoon, and he rode up on his bicycle, just had gotten a haircut, and he just happened to see us and came over and we started talking. He was looking for a gift for his wife, and we just started talking about his work, his being a student and his work here on campus and with the STEM work that he's doing to educate, to make science more accessible for people who speak Spanish as a first language. And it just was really interesting. I think a lot of us ended up talking to him about different things, and we were telling him about our club and what we were striving to do. And I said, give me your number. I think we should have you come talk to us sometime. And sometime happened quick. So I'm really pleased to have you here and to have met you. And I hope that we can join with you to do things in the future with the work you guys are doing. I went to your webpage, and boy, I wish I had you guys do our webpage. It looks really sweet. So anyway, thank you. And Carol, I don't know if you have more info, but I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, it was really lucky that we had an opening, and I enjoyed calling up Jose and realized that Jose actually had helped with an outdoor event at the Trinidad Coastal Land Trust, where we got Latinx families out in kayaks. And so today Jose is a senior at Humboldt State University. He's studying wildlife biology and communications, and he's representing the group Ciencia Para Todos, which is science for all. Being a science nerd, I'm glad to hear about this. Who's working to make scientific information accessible to the local Hispanic community in a fun, creative way. And he'll also be sharing how this work is for you, for me, and for us. So I'm going to turn it over to Jose to talk to us about his work. Thanks, Jose.
And Jose, if you'd like to screen share, you're welcome to. Not required. We'd love to just hear you talk too. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'll start off by saying buenos dias, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for speaking with me that day, Maggie, and thank you so much, Carol, for that phone call. It went very well, and I'm happy to be here. I'd also like to say thank you for helping with the Home Away from Home initiative. I didn't know the Rotary Club was involved in that, but I come from Long Beach in LA, and it was a world shock coming up here. A huge culture shock. So I'm so happy you've been doing that for us students. I've gone every year with my friends, and I kid you not, it's been awesome. And I love that phrase you have, service above self. But without further ado, would you mind letting me share my screen, Ian?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. I do have a little slide ready for us. And I know I got like a 15-minute because I know we're going to have questions at the end for sure. So.
No problem. You should be able to share. Let me stop my share real quick and open that up. There you go. It should be open for you.
All right. Yes, it is. Okay. So like I mentioned, somos Ciencia Para Todos, science for all. And we're going to go ahead and get started with who are we? Why am I even here? What have we accomplished? And how can we work together? So to answer these simply, and then I'll go more into depth, we are a group of students who have all bonded for the same reason of making scientific information that is readily available in English accessible in Spanish. And we've accomplished quite a bit for a group of students that some of us took like 20 units last semester. We're still involved. We're still working a job. And so many of us, have to deal with that burden of having to kind of work our way to college and make sure that we come out with good grades because, we got into this university, into our education to help our families, to help ourselves. That service above selves for sure is something we've been practicing since we were young, like una comunidad, our little family. And how can we work together? That is why I'm here. And I think we've got some pretty awesome ideas that I talked with Maggie and Kara about. However, there is a little surprise I completely, forgot to mention to them. So I'm sure you'll be looking forward to it. And to go more into depth into who we are. So I won't read all of this, but you're more than welcome to. We are a group of students who all noticed there was a problem in our natural sciences classes. I am a wildlife major, and there is not a lot of other wildlife majors that share a similar demographic as me. So I actually grew up speaking Spanish. Yo soy de Mexico. I am an immigrant that came here when I was like 8 years old. And for a large part of my life, I did not know English at all. So when I was coming up in middle school and high school, I had barely any support. Like I was kind of just pushed aside at the back of the classroom, trying to figure this whole English thing out by myself. And I am not alone with sharing that experience, which I thought I was for a very long time. So that is what this club has done, what this organization is working on, letting these high school kids, middle school kids, elementary kids know that, hey, you are not alone. No estás solo. We are here for you, okay? We made it to university, so can you. We are doing these amazing things, so can you. And this is a picture right here. I heard you all like pictures, so I made sure to include a lot of them. There's a picture of our original members, and they were all kind of seeing the same problem in their classes. And even though we are mostly made of Latinx students, we are not trying to tell anybody like, no, you don't speak Spanish, you can't come. So we just have people from different majors, different backgrounds, and we come together to do the best we can. So what have we accomplished? I thought I could make a list about it, but instead I'll show you. So this is one of the scientific posters that we submitted into the New Horizons Conference for Yale University last semester, which we won second place. And that's pretty astonishing based off the 70 plus presentations in the environmental department that was in there. And as you can see here, I noticed that you all worked with Encentro, which this is a logo, and Intercept, which I am both a member of, and I work for el Centro Académico Cultural as their liaison. So I will be doing a lot more talking with you. If you want to collaborate with Encentro, I'd love to go into depth. But this entire poster was about breaching the language barrier across horizons through translation and unifying communities for conservation. So there it is, that social justice, where we're translating this information that's not readily available, and then that environmental aspect of conservation. In this poster, to sum it all up, we talked about how other students can go about doing translation work in their own language and how important it is. As you can see here in these images, we have worked with NASA to create a children's coloring book. We have worked with the California State, with the California Fish and Wildlife to translate a rainbow trout poster. I remember all of us sitting there in the middle of the semester, literally like finding what words go there best, calling our grandmas, calling our parents, like, hey, like, ¿cómo suena esto? How does this sound? And right here are pictures of before the pandemic when we were hanging out with students. And these are our wonderful members. Some of them that did submit a picture, some people didn't want to be in, but that's completely fine. And if we move forward, we actually had another presentation to do locally, and it also went out great. There wasn't no prizes there, but we did receive amazing feedback because anywhere we're going, people are just showing us like, hey, thank you for doing this. And I feel like that continuously lets us know that, hey, no estamos solos, we're not alone, we're not alone. That same thing gets repeated in our head. We felt alone for such a long time, but thanks to Ciencia Para Todos, science for all, we have been able to kind of create this unity, bring forward this community that we felt was needed. And something more recent was actually we got published on the front page of the Mad River Union. This is myself right here. This is my wife, who is also part of Ciencia Para Todos, and loved the candle holder I got her, Maggie. Thank you for that. Yes, she recommended, she was like, go get it, go get it. She helped me put it in a bag, wrapped it on nice. I appreciate it. It's actually lit right now. Happy wife, happy life, right, fellas? So, and our friend right here is one of my rugby buddies who graduated and now works with Paso a Paso and founded this organization named Cuna, which will lead us to one of the collaborations we would look forward to having you help us out with. So in the Carlson Park down in Gentoli Lane, basically, they did this Adopt a Park program, and they had an entire rally where a bunch of tabling was going on. So many different members from the community were there, and it was an extraordinary event. And it was really great to follow that up from the kayaking event we had with the Trinidad Coastal Land Trust. Michelle was so amazing. And let's move forward onto what we can collaborate. You know a little bit of who we are, you know a little bit of what we've done, and I've heard that you have all been involved in amazing feats yourself. So I'm so happy to be here right now. Estoy extraordinariamente feliz. So the little surprise is actually Hispanic Heritage Month. As I did mention, I work with El Centro Cultural. Right now, we are practicing, we are preparing a bunch of activities which have a new focus each week. We are ranging from la comida, the food. You know, there's so much culture in food that we want to make sure we tap into, either doing since it is still during COVID and HSU is having a 20-person limit per events, just to fill you up on that a little bit. We're planning to do like online streams on how to make traditional Hispanic foods, anywhere from tortillas, pupusas, sopes, and any of those variations. So maybe in one of the weeks, I know we're working with Snap, but if you're in touch with any other farmers that could help us get ingredients, that'd be something great. We're also having a fashion week, so if you have any clothes you'd like to donate during fashion week as well, or anything of that sort, that'd be awesome. We're also having some guest speakers come by, and if you want to just be present on there, because and let your community members know, because as much as it is for our community, it's for everybody else here in Humboldt to know who the neighbors are as well, because it's a little more intimidating to get to know somebody when you're kind of on the gray, like, oh, like I don't really know how to speak with them, I don't really know how we can get along. But in reality, we all got two eyes. Well, hopefully we all got two lungs, we're all breathing air, so we can get along just fine, in my opinion. And Oktoberfest is what I was really talking to Maggie and Kara about, that I'm so excited. So this would be a follow-up to that Valley rally we had that you just saw in the last slide. We would actually be planning to do like a Halloween and Dia de los Muertos collaboration, because it lands on Sunday. You know, we want to do events on Sunday because families can make it out there. And Sunday turns out to be October 31st, which even I, growing up in Mexico, I remember going trick-or-treating. We had our own slogan. Everybody was part of it. So I would love to see everybody dressed up in costumes. HSU is reassessing the situation for events at the end of September because of some new patterns I've noticed with the Delta variant. It spikes very high and then it remains constant. So we are hoping that that consistency is reached by then. But if not, we did talk about some creative methods to make this event go as safely as possible. We did have a vaccine station at the event, which was really great during the summer. So hopefully we can bring that up again, just in case anybody's not vaccinated. Right there, boom, access. In the Oktoberfest, we would plan to have a haunted horror maze. We have members that worked in Halloween houses back in their hometowns in the Bay Area. I have been talking to Two Log Farms, trying to get a petting zoo up in there, and they were so appreciative. They were like, heck yeah, we want to bring a petting zoo here, bring our pigs, bring our llamas, bring our sheep. And we also talked to the Humboldt State Redwood Parks at an event we did with them not too long ago, that they have a petting, not a petting section, but a tabling that displaces pelts of the gray foxes nearby, of local species, of the elk. They have horns, antlers. And I feel like since we are focused on science, we are firm believers that science and fun go together. You can learn and you can still have fun while doing it. That's something we try to preach all the time, and something I, as a kid, didn't receive too much, but that's for sure the best days in my before I reached university. I remember those days in class when we learned and had fun. So we would love that, for you to even just come table at our event. This is the type of work that I want to get involved in and continue doing in my life, just being able to kind of see where we can build bridges. You've been doing amazing things. If you want to kind of, this would kind of be like a home away from home event going forward, also just so the community knows that, like, hey, we're students too. We want to kind of blend the students in the local community. Ian, I believe you mentioned that a lot of HSU students become staples of the community, and I've met with HSU alumni who have been here since the 70s, and now they've been renowned by the community. Professors that retire and they're renowned in the community. So that's awesome, and I'd love for all of them to get to mingle around. So also, we want to make sure that we're able to do like candy there, and maybe have a shrine station there, or we could at least provide supplies for people to build their own shrines. So maybe if you can kind of see where you might want to be able to fit in there, that's why I'm going to kind of wrap this up in a little bit so we can have more room to have a conversation. And the last thing I will mention, which is our very, very ambitious project, El Sol y el Agua children's book, The Sun and the Water. We are creating an entirely Spanish children's book that's focused on the environmental topics. And this all came about because in the pandemic, we can't really go to elementary schools. Children are Zoom fatigued since like the first month that happened. And we understand, we don't want to just add on to that. So we thought, okay, how can we help them out right now? So I don't know if any of you have ever seen the movie How to Harness the Wind, or How to Harness the Sun. And this is kind of that same initiative. We want to teach these children something useful, something they can use in these hard times where it might be hard to have access to water, where you might not necessarily have access to light. So maybe teaching them about solar energy, teaching them about how to catch rainwater. These are useful skills that we're trying to make as fun as possible, so that when they read it, and we're targeting 3rd and 4th graders specifically, they can be like, oh, wow, I can do this. Yo soy un científico. I am a scientist. And that is what we're trying to go ahead and kind of implant in their heads, that, you can do it. You are more than capable. So that is what we're up to. We're almost done with the book, and we received funding from a lot of people. So if you could just help us get the word out, that'd really be the biggest help we could ask for. Es todo lo que tengo que decir. That's it for me. Thank you so much for having me here today. And let's hear some questions if you got any.
Fantastico, gracias. I wanted to let you know real quick before questions that our club is involved in a rain catchment project and garden at one of our local schools on the Samoa Peninsula. And we would love to have your group's involvement when we go to set that up. We have hands-on plans, and the students there will definitely learn the value of being able to do something and create something yourself for the benefit of our planet and our community. And Jose, I think I speak for all of us when we say, we really hope you stick around Humboldt. We really do. Man, your energy comes right on through, and what great things you're doing. Open for questions, please.
There we go.
Rebecca, I see your hand up.
I don't really necessarily have a question right away. One, I'm just inspired. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. And I guess I just wanted to mention a couple things because I'm all about connections. One, I'm not sure you've connected much with Fuente Nueva is the Spanish immersion school here in town. And I think that might be a great connection and opportunity for some of your members to actually just present in Spanish. I mean, they have most of their classes in Spanish. They do all that. So it might be a good connection. I guess the other thing, and this is, again, not a question, but more so like a comment. So, I work at an engineering firm. We're a global engineering firm. I've had to go out in the public and communities in California where they're only Spanish speaking. And I've had to work really hard to find someone to translate a whole presentation on a wastewater assessment to a Spanish community. So there's huge value and huge need for, those folks who can live in both worlds. I know I can't, I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry, I can't even speak Spanish. I'm so sorry. I should, but just there are huge opportunities let's see, the other thing is, are you connecting much with Engineers Without Borders? There's a local Engineers Without Borders, organization. So as you're maybe outreaching to different, areas and things, I know they're doing projects in other countries and definitely need help with, people who speak the language. So just a couple thoughts. Ian has my contact info if you want to follow up on any of those things. It's just amazing presentation. I'm very inspired. Thank you. And I hope you stick around too.
Yeah, I'll be here for a while. Hopefully, if grad school goes well. And I believe Engineers Without Borders is ran by Lonnie Grafman, correct?
Lonnie is deeply involved in rain catchment and to catch the sun. He's got a book coming up. I don't know if he's directly involved with that organization, but
there's
definitely a
at
resource.
least 4 or 5 engineers in my office that are involved with Engineers Without Borders. They've been working on a well project and different other projects. Rotary's helped some of their projects, but if you want, I can get you the name of a local engineer. Lonnie probably knows how to get you in contact with some of the folks from Engineers Without Borders.
Okay, great to hear. We are in very close contact with Lonnie, and he's been a mentor throughout this entire book process.
He's amazing.
He is indeed. Thank you for your comments.
I see your hand up.
I was going to say Lonnie's the fellow we're coordinating with for the rain catchment project we're doing at the school, and he's going to grab some students. So some of you may very well be involved in that project. You just don't know it yet. So surprise. I really appreciate this, and I do want to really encourage our club to talk about how we can connect with your event at the end of October. I think having so talk to your group about how you see where you need help and what we can do, because I think we want to be there and I think we want to support that. So please stay in touch with us once you go back and say, hey, the Rotary wants to be involved. Where can we best utilize this group to help support your work at that event?
Any other questions for Jose?
Yeah, I see someone raising their hand. They had spoken earlier. Michael, if I'm not correct.
Yes, thank you, Jose. Just for clarification, if anybody needs to use his email, it's JJ, because he has a capital J and a small j, and it's hard to see. It's jjr74@humboldt.edu. Thank you for your presentation. I know that my daughter Karina, when she gets here in October, will love to be part of your organization, and hopefully she will be a member of HSU soon. And I'm going to send you an email about a project that we're doing involving students, and see if you have any input with it, okay? Maybe you can even join our club, which would be wonderful.
Sounds good. Thank you for that offer, Michael. I appreciate it.
Say, please stay in touch if there's anything that you feel that our group can offer in the way of assistance to yours. We're here to help you succeed if you need the help. Obviously, you're doing great. That's just so inspiring. I want to let you know that our club is making a donation to the Wheelchair Foundation, which is an organization that provides wheelchairs to folks who could not otherwise access or afford them. And so that donation to that organization will be made in your name in recognition of your spending the time with us here this morning. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. I don't know what to say about that, but thank you. I appreciate you, and all of you are doing amazing work too. I appreciate you. As growing up, I will just get this off my chest. I didn't think there was like the older generations doing too much, but that was just me being ignorant and being stuck in the moment, because all of you have been holding this torch up no matter how hard it's gotten. So thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Absolutely.
And I'll stick around till the end if that's okay. I'll just be quiet over here in my corner.
Please do. Please do. We're actually right there, but I have something for you. At the end of each meeting, I have a big thought. And today I wrote it for you. It's in the form of a haiku. And I think based on everything you talked to, I got it just about right.